It'd probably help if I actually turned the USB mics on. So, my name is Justin. I'm from the PO. I'm flying solo tonight. Unfortunately, Josh can't make it here tonight. He is actually dealing with some surgery. He got his wisdom teeth taken out and all that good stuff. So hopefully he'll be back by next show. At least I'm hoping. It'd be nice if he is, because trying to do this on your own is kind of boring. You don't have anybody to bounce off of and argue with, and it's kind of what Josh and I are really good at. Is arguing for no apparent reason at all. That's just what we do. My timer closed, guys. So in case you've never actually seen our setup, we typically have a timer that goes, and it helps us keep track of what part of the show we're on. So bear with me for a second. Bam. All right. So yeah, what a week. The big win for our boys. I wasn't expecting a whole lot against Orlando City. I really wasn't. Sweet, Trevor fixed. Hey, Trevor, real quick. I tried to message you earlier. I don't know if you got it. Are you still going to the match tomorrow? You can just comment or you can message. We messaged you from the Peel. Anyway, yeah, so huge win for our boys. I'm pretty sure I ended up saying we were going to draw 2-2. I really don't remember what my prediction was, but still thinking about it. Negative Nancy. No, Josh, it wasn't me being negative, okay, to be completely honest with you. It was Orlando had come in as the best team in the East. I mean, numbers don't lie. They just don't. Yes, they're coming off a road game in Toronto, which is going to be tough regardless. But, it was still it's still Orlando. No, as of right now, Josh might know. I don't know. Josh is commenting on the feed, so Josh, let him know. Anyway, it's let's see, cool. I don't know. I'm still kind of in shock about this match. I didn't expect the explosion that we had at all. I'm gonna try to snap this over on this one so I can comment and look at this stuff. It's gonna work. It's gonna let me. Sweet. All right. I didn't expect 4 goals. I mean, after going back and watching the match again, we could have easily scored about another 3. You've got Morrow's miss, Vicente Sanchez's miss, and I'm pretty sure Kyoto probably could have put another one in with the supplies from Alex that he had, which we'll dive into that a little bit. Hey, Amber's watching too. That's nice. Sorry guys, I needed a drink. But yeah, so we'll dive into the stats a little bit. We've got the Orlando match to talk about. I got the scores from the weekend, some head scratchers. I've also got setting up for the Vancouver match, which, looking through the stats, I think we'll fare well against them. What else do I got? I got some injury news. Got some BBVA Compass Stadium news. We've also got the MLS schedule for the weekend. Got some fantasy stuff I want to cover, and then Houston Hoedown. Got some cool news about that as well. We got the Houston Dutch Lions coming up this weekend, or tomorrow actually, not this weekend. And some other stuff I'll just close out with. Some actually cool World Cup news that's kind of up in the air. But like I said, I'll dive into that. Go from there. So, yes, Josh, I got all the power rankings. Luckily, even if you want to chime in during it, Josh, you can still do that. Yeah. Power rankings, we improved in that. I think anytime you beat a team 4-0, you're gonna be well in the power rankings. So let's go ahead and get into this. Hold on, Dynamo Theory tweeted about us. Let's see what they said. Oh, well. Maybe in a second. I didn't want that. Oh, okay. Cool. Let's see. So we'll dive right into this match. In case you were unaware, Dynamo won 4-0 this past Saturday at down at BBVA against Orlando City. First off, before we dive deep into that, I've got to applaud the Iron Lion firm. They're one of the supporters groups for Orlando City. They took a bus here. They brought 40 people down to BBVA. It was nice to see an away side like that come in and support their team. I ended up talking to one of the supporters, and he was very thankful. He liked the turnout that they had. Obviously, it wasn't the match he hoped for; it was the match we hoped for. But that's on them and not us. But yeah, so starting it off, Albert Elise scored in the 23rd minute. Mauro Manotas in the 51st. Mauro again in the 65th, and then you had Hoedown in the 75th. Again, like I said, Hoedown easily could have scored again. At least two more. Some of the notes to take away from this match to get into it and just cover the surface. Eric Alexander did end up getting injured with at the 9th minute. Can I say 9th? After about 9 minutes, he has a sprained MCL, and he will be out 8 to 12 weeks. I'll be a little intrigued on how Wilmer gets around that. I know it's not a huge loss because we have people that can fill in, but Eric Alexander has been playing extremely well for us this season, and it sucks anytime you see a guy go down with a knee injury. Kubo was not able to play because he didn't pass the concussion protocol. He was 1 day shy of actually passing it, but he will be available this weekend. I know Josh and I were talking before, before we came on, and I'll be intrigued to see how Wilmer plays with that. With Manotas playing extremely well like he did this week, and Kubo, still kind of being informed. I mean, he's had an okay last two games, but I personally think you go with the hot hand and Manotas gets the start against Vancouver, and maybe you sub Kubo on in the second half. And I'm not saying you sit Kubo the rest of the season, but I'm also saying that Mauro Manotas has played pretty well after he missed the PK, which let me see when that injury was. It was early in the match. Go to the timeline. Let's see. That would have been. Scroll down here. Injury seated by over. Free kick. All right, in the 10th minute, it happened in the 10th minute, right after the Eric Alexander injury. Kubo missed it, or not Kubo. Manotas missed it wide left. I went back and watched it a few times, and I don't know if it really plays into it, but if you go back and watch his left foot as he was taking the PK, he kind of planted it a little hard, and it was turned inward. So I don't know if that just threw his whole motion off or what. I don't know if it was also nerves, because he hasn't gotten as many minutes as I think he's expected. But I think that played into it. It ended. The first half ended 0-0. It was one of those. All right, well, Dynamo are playing pretty well. Orlando City is not playing very well. Something big's about to happen, and it did. Albert Elise opened it up in the second half. The PK was in the 12th minute. Albert Elise scored in the 23rd minute. My fault. And so that was his fourth goal of the season. It was fun to watch him. He with that goal, he is up for goal of the week. I don't think that he wound up winning it, only because David Villa's goal was pretty spectacular this past weekend as well. So he'll probably lose that. But Hoedown is also up for it too. See any other comments? All right. But to break down the match, let me go over here to Dynamo Theory stuff. Harrison. He posted an article today on Dynamo Theory, or yesterday, and it is the Dynamo are the best attacking team at home. And I know the discussion after this match with me and a couple people is, why doesn't this transfer to the road? I'll probably talk a little more about that after I finish closing up this Orlando City one, or this Orlando City talk. But it's a completely different team, and it's scary how well we play at home and how bad we play on the road. Speaking about that, we have a big match coming up this next week, and we'll talk about that on the next podcast too, against my Philadelphia Union. I'm pretty sure Josh and I will put a bet on that, but he still has, next time he comes on, he still has to wear the FC Dallas shirt. I don't care what he says. My girlfriend said she's gonna bedazzle that shirt, and I think that'd be hilarious for Josh to wear that, since he hasn't been on since he lost. So I think he might be faking the wisdom teeth surgery. I just don't think he wants to come on the show and be embarrassed by wearing the FC Dallas shirt. I mean, at least I had big enough balls to actually do it. Don't know about Josh at the moment. I'm probably gonna get so much shit from him, but it's worth it. That's what happens when you have a best friend. You can talk as much shit as you want about him, and they'll still be your best friend. Player ratings about the team. I still think Alex right now is probably the man of the year so far for this club. The goal that Kyoto scored, Alex supplied that pass to Kyoto from right outside of our defensive end, and it was beautiful, on point. And then Kyoto with his speed is just something else. It's pretty amazing. But player ratings, most of the players scored pretty high. You had Kyoto, who was the man of the match for fan voting. Lima again had an 8 out of 10 rating, almost a 9. Hareworth at least had an 8 rating. Joe Willis had a really good game as well. I'm gonna make your car. And DeMarcus Beasley scored pretty well. I liked AJD. I think he helped the possession a little bit. He drove the ball up the pitch a lot. You also had Mauro Manotas. After bouncing back after the missed PK, I mean, the guy was lights out. His speed, he could have scored at least another one. I went to the press conference, and Wilmer even said, he pretty much looked like a ghost after he missed that PK, and you could tell that it was really getting to him. I would expect nothing less from an FC Dallas shirt to have glitter on it there. Well, see, I'm not going to repeat that because I also I don't like having to edit our show, but Josh said he'll proudly wear it if it's bedazzled or glittered, so I'll have to let Megan know that. Josh, we need to come up with a bet for next week. So going back to the match, Vicente Sanchez came on late in the match. Ricardo Clark was subbed on for Eric Alexander. Ended up having a pretty decent game. It was funny when he was warming up, he put his kid on backwards. I don't know if anybody else has seen those pictures, but it was kind of funny. But Boniak also came on. Pretty average, pretty pedestrian for him. Nothing that really stood out about his play. He was just, player he typically is. But I've got to go back to Morrow. It was night and day the way he played after the PK and coming out of halftime. And seeing him score that goal and seeing the excitement that he and Wilmer Cabrera both had, I look forward to this long term, especially hopefully Wilmer stays on. Hopefully Morrow doesn't go anywhere. I think he will provide a lot of energy for this team going forward. Let's see. As for that, like I said, get back here. Back to the recap. Again, another stat that went out. I was sitting in the press box, so I had some access to stats when I was out there. And, it's getting to the point now to where if we don't win on possession, we win the match, especially at home. When we do win possession, we lose the match. Don't know how that works in logic, because it doesn't, but in reality it does for this team. We went back to the 4-3-3. And Orlando City didn't have an answer for it at all. Granted, they also didn't have Jonathan Spector, who played a big difference in that team. Gil, as I was watching the match and following Twitter, Orlando City fans cannot stand Gil, and I think it's hilarious. Or however you say his last name. But that's going to do that for the Orlando City match. It did propel us. Let's see. Let me go back here. I had a lot more stats than this. I don't know what happened to it. But with that win, we are sitting fourth in the table with 16 points, 9 matches played, 5 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. Like I said, as long as we start getting some of these road wins, or preferably draws, opposed to losses, we're going to shoot up those standings. There's only 2 teams above us right now that have a better record or on the road, or a positive record on the road. Let's put it that way. And that would be Dallas is one of them. And, they're going to come here and they're going to play us hard. And if we can play like we did against Orlando City, I think that we'll be okay. I don't necessarily say we're going to blow Dallas out because, let's face it, Dallas is the best team in the West. And I think it's probably going to end up staying like that. I'm going to be completely honest. We're not winning the division, or the conference, excuse me. Not with Sporting KC playing the way they are, not with Dallas. I wouldn't mind finishing 3rd or 4th, only because we're going to end up playing the 3rd or 4th team the opposite of what we finish. So it will be a lot easier for us than if we, say, finish 6th. And then have to end up playing FC Dallas if they win the conference. So I know it's early, Josh. I know it's extremely early, but you still got to look at this in perspective. It's going to be tight. Let me go back here to the. There we go. Bam, got it. Go back here to the scores from this past weekend. That's going to close it out for the Orlando City talk. Go back here, go to scores. All right, and of course, Orlando City played on Wednesday. You had them going up to Toronto and losing 2-1. SKC beat the Red Bulls on Wednesday 2-0. Vancouver taking road points, which is big from Colorado, which we'll get into that too. Vancouver's actually played extremely well on the road. Vancouver winning 1-0 against Colorado on Friday, and then Saturday there was a lot of big matches that came out on Saturday. You had Toronto taking a point on the road to Seattle. Seattle did not look good that match. Toronto, if they really wanted to, they could have won that about 3-0. Montreal took on DC United. Another road team took 3 points away. DC, I don't want to say they're a dumpster fire, but they're getting close. And you had the Union coming up huge and beating the New York Red Bulls 3-0. Didn't expect that, to be completely honest with you. CJ Sapong with the hat trick, which officially has him in first place with goals this season in MLS. You had Columbus taking on New England. They won 2-0. You had Dallas going up to RSL and beating them around 3-0. You had LA drawing Chicago 2-2. LA right now is probably the dumpster fire to MLS now. And then San Jose with Portland coming in there, taking 3 points away from them and winning 3-0. Portland was down Nagby and I want to say Fernando Adi, and they did not have any answers. Chris Wondolowski scored a screamer, or scored a really pretty goal. Fortunately, he can't do that for the U.S., so I really don't care, and quite honestly, I don't want him called up again. And then Sunday, you had what I think is the biggest upset of the weekend. You had Minnesota beating Kansas City 2-0. Didn't expect that. I thought Kansas City was going to go on there and at least beat them 3-0, 3-1. And then NYCFC taking on Atlanta, winning 3-1. Another one of those matches. I didn't think Atlanta was going to get beat like that, but they did. And that's going to take us this week. We are taking on Vancouver this week. Shannon Williams will be coming back here, returning back to Houston after being here 2 years. It was fun to watch him play. I'm actually kind of curious to see how he fits in the lineup there in person. I'm not sure how many minutes he's gotten so far this year. You also have Breck Shea, who is coming back from an injury, and he scored this past weekend. So it'll be fun to see that too. It's funny, me and my girlfriend have the Breck Shea discussion all the time, and I honestly don't feel that his heart's in it anymore. I think, he has other things that he wants to do, and it's kind of sad because he had a lot of potential. Anyway, all time against Vancouver, or the Vancouver Whitecaps, we have 10 matches. All time, our record's not that good against them. Only 3 wins, 2 draws, 5 losses, with a -3 goal difference. It's at home though. It's a completely different. Josh, I don't get it. Screwed on offside goal, pink hose. I don't know. I still think Toronto played Seattle better than. Toronto played Seattle well. Seattle just didn't look all that great at home. Torres gave up a stupid penalty in the box to put them up 1-0. And then Josh, the Minnesota United and SKC match, that I couldn't. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one. I don't understand how that happens. But at home, it's a completely different story against Vancouver. So 4 total matches, 3 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses, and a plus 5 goal difference. Vancouver, though, is playing extremely well on the road. They've taken 3 road points from Colorado. They have 2 straight road wins at the moment from Colorado and Montreal. They currently sit 6th in the Western Conference. They're 4 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. They've played 9 matches. I look for this one to probably be an easy win. Then again, no win's actually easy. But if we go back playing this 4-3-3 and you get Kyoto with the supplies from Alex and Elise playing the way they did this past weekend, regardless if you have Kubo or Minotas out there, I think we're going to see a lot of the same. I mean, if not, this could be worse. This could be a 5 or 6 goal affair for the Dynamo. I mean, you just came off of playing the number 1 team in the East. Well, was, and I think it's going to bode well for them. I'm not sure on the prediction yet. I guess before we get any farther, and then I'll give a prediction too. You can always check us out on Facebook at the Peel 2005 on Facebook. Our Twitter handle is at the Peel05. I'll be in the press box again this weekend, so follow our Twitter because I'll be tweeting out the entire match. I think I got close to Twitter jail this past weekend. I think it's the most I've ever tweeted in my life, and it was cool. Because especially on a TweetDeck, you can pull up the hashtag for the match, and you can tweet out all at the same time. It's pretty cool. Our Gmail, if you ever want to shoot us an email, tell us how bad we suck or good we're doing. That's thepeel2005@gmail.com. Also, go catch us over at our at Dynamo Theory's Facebook page. It's just Dynamo Theory. Their Twitter handles at Dynamo Theory and dynamotheory.com. That's where we will post all our podcasts and the links to all those. Also, with that being said, go ahead and subscribe to us on Google Play and the iTunes Store. We will all our podcasts are on there, and as long as you subscribe, you'll get our podcasts as soon as they get uploaded and approved from their stores respectively. They've got to go through an approval process. Don't ask me why. But Vancouver, they're beatable. They're beatable. I don't think it's going to be that tough of a test for us. I haven't got a chance to watch too much of their matches to break it down. I'll be waiting for Harrison's post later this week and Derek too for any insight on them. So stay tuned for that on Dynamo Theory. Get some insight on that. It's finals week, so I wasn't able to get on the Gmail and send off an email to one of their podcasts. Pray for me, it's finals week. But with that being said, Houston has moved up to 9th in the ESPN and MLS power rankings. Elise and Kyoto were up for goal of the week, and Alex made team of the week, and Mauro Manotas made the bench. Should be an easy win, hopefully. Great time to get points before the next few road games. Agreed. Next week, we play on a Wednesday, and we play again that weekend. You've got the Union, and I don't know why it's left me all of a sudden on who we play right after that. We play Atlanta in Atlanta. With that being, I came across the Twitter sphere today. That match is sold out there in Atlanta, so it's gonna be a big match for them. I want to say it's their 4th straight sellout now at home. So that'll be fun to see. Let's see, so here's some Hoedown stuff. See, Josh, you need to get better because this sucks. Because I don't have anybody to argue with or bounce anything off with. Josh, let everybody know how you're feeling on the comments. But like I said, the injury news, we have Eric Alexander out for 8 to 12 weeks. I'm going to pull up my email here. Cool thing about Friday, it is the 5th anniversary of BBVA Compass Stadium. I'm going to try to make it to the press conference Friday. I'm going to try to get off work a little early. But 5 years. Team's been there for 5 years. And I want to say this is probably one of the most exciting teams they've had in those 5 years. The speed is crazy. And they put on a clinic of that this past weekend. Also, I did also want to say something else. There were 2 Brazilians on the pitch. The best one of the day was Nakaka. I just really wanted to say that. Oh, Josh, you're never mind. I'm not going to say that on the air either. Yeah. So, let's see. I'll be back next week for the show. Yeah, you better. So this is episode 30. We've done 30 of these. For the ones that are still listening, why? I'm joking. No, we love every single one of you, and I'm glad that we've been able to get to 30 shows. I knew we did this on our 20th show. I didn't expect us to get this far, but it's pretty cool. There's things in the works. We're talking to people. It's gotten me to a point to where I never thought I'd be at. I've grown up loving sports, and I know I'm getting off topic, but it's really cool now because I actually get to cover it also with one of my best friends. So it's kind of cool to see it from that side. Yeah. Let me go ahead and give you guys the MLS schedule for the weekend. For this week coming up. And then got some fantasy news, got some Houston Hoedown, got some other stuff I want to throw out there. Starting off with your fantasy teams, make sure you have your lineup set by 6:30 Central Time tomorrow. Because we got Columbus taking on Toronto in Columbus. I think Toronto walks all over Columbus. Then you have our match Friday against Vancouver. That will be a 8 o'clock kickoff. It's also Star Wars night. So if you got a Star Wars scarf, I'm jealous. Because I didn't get one. I didn't even get an advertisement for one. They were supposed to send it out to a bunch of people through the reward store. Never got it. Let's see. You also got Toronto on Saturday taking on Minnesota. That should be fun. Minnesota has to go up to Toronto. It's not going to be a fun match for them, especially if Javinko plays. San Jose taking on Colorado. In Colorado, you got Montreal hosting Columbus. DC United hosting Philadelphia. Thing about this match, DC United's not playing well, whether it's at home or on the road. Philadelphia's coming off a huge win against the Red Bulls. So I think with that, they need these 3 points, and if they can get these 3 points, people are going to forget about how bad they've been in the first 9 games of the season. You got Orlando City taking on Sporting KC. It doesn't get any easier for Orlando City. And I think SKC is going to be a little ticked off after their match from this past weekend. And I think there's going to be fireworks in that match. I think that's going to be the one to watch for the weekend. You've also got New England taking on RSL. That's going to be a snooze fest. You've got Chicago taking on Seattle. In Chicago, Portland taking on Atlanta. I think this is also going to be a really good match. I don't think it's the match of the weekend. I still think that's Orlando City and Sporting KC. But Portland's going to look to bounce back after that horrible loss against San Jose. You got FC Dallas hosting NYCFC. I hope NYCFC beats them. And then LA Galaxy taking on the Red Bulls. And I'm actually, as much as I hate the Red Bulls, I kind of want to see them beat the Galaxy because I think it's fun when anybody beats the Galaxy for the week. Screw you. Yes, please email us, like Josh said. I know sometimes things tend to get a little stagnant. Like I said before, it's easier when you have somebody else here to help push the conversation along. But like I said, Josh will be back next week, and like he said also. So just bear with me. I know these last two episodes aren't as fun because he's not here. But we do also have a lot of good stuff going on in the Houston area. Before I get to that, though, we'll get back to the fantasy stuff. I won again this weekend. Still in second place, though. Which kind of sucks. MLS screwed me, and Portland screwed me by not putting the injury of Nagby out there in time. Because you had to have your lineups locked. Also, if you have any SKC players defensively, keep them. They're consistently making Dream Team of the Week, which is nice. We also had Andrew Horn and his Horn Barnstormers getting the participation award this week. I think he scored 57 points this weekend. 57. It's kind of funny. It wasn't Eric like we thought it was going to be. You've got Josh still sitting in 6th place. Did he win this weekend? Yeah, he did. He won 104-80 versus Christian Hernandez. So again, lock up your get your lineups locked by Wednesday at 6:30. If not, you're gonna be screwed like the rest of us. If we've all done it. It happens. With that, let's see. Except for last week, that's true. He said, except for last week, SKC got blanked by Minnesota. I think Minnesota's also turning it around. They're not playing the same style that they were. They're not getting caught in open spaces like they were early in the season. I was watching some of the videos and stuff on MLS.com or MLSsoccer.com. If you go to MLS.com, it takes you to a realtor website. So don't do that. I just think maybe they caught SKC at a bad time for them. I still think that SKC is one of the top contenders for MLS Cup this year. Dom Dwyer's been playing amazing. Keeper's been playing amazing. Don't know why I forgot his name all of a sudden. But I think that I don't think Minnesota's going to be that team that everybody takes lightly anymore, except for Toronto. It is Toronto, and I think Josie and Javinko both scored 2 in that match. Let's see. Let me see where I'm at in my rundown. I am going to jump ahead to the Houston Dash real quick. They fell to the Chicago Red Stars 2-0 in Chicago this past Saturday. They fell to 2 wins, 2 losses on the season, putting them in 4th place on the table. They will take on the 8th place Sky Blue SC this Saturday at BBVA at 3 o'clock. So it's a there you go. Also that match will be on Lifetime as well. So they're getting some national recognition. Kelly O'Hai's been playing extremely well. She got a little banged up this past match, but I think they'll take Sky Blue FC at home. With that, so Houston Hoedown. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there now. So I got some cool news. The Houston Hoedown will still be part of the Peel, but is also moving on to its own segment / section on DynamoTheory.com. I I've always wanted to try to push local soccer and the growth of the game, and so I had asked the editors there if it was cool if I had did the segment. And they've always wanted to do something with local soccer, and there's so much here in Houston. You have Houston FC now, starting up this soon. It's not this weekend. I want to say it's next weekend. Anyway, there's an article up there about when all these teams start. It got posted today, so if you head over there, like it, share it, comment over on dynamotheory.com. But that's right here in Houston. That's not the Dynamo. It's the USL PDL team, fourth tier on the pyramid. They will be playing their home matches down at Rice University at Holloway Field. So I know I'm going to try to go catch their home opener. It's May 22nd, actually. It's a Monday night. There ain't nothing else going on except maybe the Rockets. That's part of the reason why I know I'm probably not going to get too much going on the comments here. But go Rockets. It kind of pains me to say that because, I like another team. But that is what it is. But yes, Josh said go Dutch Lions. So, Houston Dutch Lions are not kicking off their NPSL season, but they're starting their U.S. Open Cup run, their 2017 U.S. Open Cup run. The first round tomorrow at 7:30 in Conroe at the Dutch Lions soccer facility. I know I'm going. Josh is still up in the air. Hopefully he feels good enough to go. I'm really interested in it because I've always liked the Open Cup. I think it's a undervalued tournament by a lot of, especially MLS clubs. They don't take it seriously, and I wish that they did. It's the longest running continuous tournament in the U.S. You have the FA Cup in England. You have the German Cup. You have a bunch of these other cups that are open to lower division teams. Yeah, most 9 out of 10 times your top division team is going to win those titles. But it's also cool when you have some of these lower teams making a run at it. Last year there were plenty of or maybe it was NASL. Either way, you had some of those teams making a run late in that tournament. Also, if you win the U.S. Open Cup, you qualify for a CONCACAF Champions League. Now, I'm not saying that the Dutch Lions are going to go to that, because that's tough. But if you win it, you go. The Dutch Lions qualified for that after winning the Southern Conference in the NPSL last year. They didn't win their division. They fell to Chattanooga last year. I forgot the score line. But still, they qualified. They're going there this year. And they'll be taking on the North Texas Rayados. They're not affiliated with anybody. They play in a Texas league up there. But it'll be really cool. Like I said, it's in Conroe tomorrow. I think I've looked. Tickets are like $10 at the door. And it'll be fun. Buy some merchandise. I know I'm going to try to grab a scarf, add it to my collection. But hey, hold on. Josh is calling. Let's see. What's up?
What's going on, man?
Nothing. I'm live.
Were you saying the Dutch Lions were gonna? Were you saying the Dutch Lions were going to MLS? Did I get that right?
No. What I was saying is that if you hypothetically, if you win the Open Cup, you qualify for the Champions League. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So,
okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
No, they're not moving to MLS.
Really and truly just calling because I want to say, miss all my PO listeners. I'll be back next week.
All right. Well, Josh, keep commenting. And yeah.
All right, man. Dude, keep doing a good job.
All right. Thanks, bro. Well, that's Josh. You heard him. He sounds like he's not feeling much of anything right now, and it's kind of funny. But what was I going to say? If they do win, though, they will be playing against San Antonio FC of the USL. That is going to be a huge test for them. San Antonio right now is first in the USL. They're making a push to try to get into MLS, and I think out of most of the USL teams, I think they're the most ready. They've got a huge following out in San Antonio, and it's going to be a really tough matchup if the Houston Dutch Lions win, because that's who they're going to play. And then also with that on Saturday, the Houston Regals, also in the NPSL, will start their regular season against the Shreveport Raptors FC at Kipp High School off Tidwell Road. I think it's north of the Beltway, just north of the Beltway, or it's just below the Beltway, on the north side of the city. Either way, they'll be kicking off their season as well. And that's going to do it for the Houston Hoedown. I do have some RGV news. They did take a week off. So after they look to come out strong after a week off when they take on the Swoop Park Rangers this Saturday at HEB Park at 7:30. The Rangers are currently 4th on the table, sitting at 4 wins, 2 losses, and 0 draws. And the Tours are 8th. They've had a kind of an up and down season so far. Granted, they are early in the season as well, but they're sitting with 3 wins, 3 losses, and 0 draws. So it'll be cool to see that. Let's see. I got everything covered today pretty early. Like I said, it makes it easier when you have more people watching, and we actually have Josh here. But you can always find us, like I said, on Facebook, The Peel 2005, Twitter at The Peel 05. Our Gmail is thepeel2005@gmail.com. You can also find us on dynamotheory.com, and then go ahead and follow them too at Facebook at Dynamo Theory, and their Twitter's at Dynamo Theory on there. Also, you can also find us in the Google Play Store and the iTunes Store as well, and they're free. I don't want to charge you guys for it. It takes all the fun out of it. Let's see. So some World Cup news. FIFA is gonna try to give a 3-month window for any competing bids against the U.S., Mexico, and Canada bid for the 2026 World Cup. Early reports are saying that right now the U.S. is the leading candidate, and there's also some rumblings out there that if FIFA does not feel that Canada or Mexico are technically fit enough to host any of these games, U.S. still isn't going to lose it. And it would be a total U.S. World Cup, which would be, that'd be fun. I've already talked to Megan. We're going to make sure we save some money up for that, and we will travel to any of the knockout games that the U.S. might make and any of the group stages that close to here that they might make. But I don't think that there's going to be too much more to get into today. The Rockets are going to kick off or tip off not too long ago, so probably going to go watch that. There is something, it's not soccer related, but Josh and I, as you know, we like to partake in drinking our craft beer. On a side note, in the Texas Senate, starting maybe tomorrow, there is a bill that will limit the sale, or let's say add a tax to craft breweries at their tap rooms, stuff like that. So let your local district know that you are against it, especially if you enjoy craft beer. Big name distributors are feeling the pressure and the loss of money from some of these smaller people, so they're trying to get their hand into the pot that craft beer is getting. Go ahead and let your senator know that you're against that, and let's keep craft beer growing. I'm drinking some right now. It is extremely good. I don't have the can in front of me, which is probably really bad, but it's an IPA. I know, Josh. Go ahead and tell me how much you hate IPAs, or how much you make fun of me for drinking IPAs, but I like it. But that is going to do it for me tonight. We're going to do a shorter show. We'll go big at it again next week with Josh. I'll gonna try to get my friend on who did or does a union podcast. Try to get him on and go from there. So this is Justin for the Peel and Forever Orange.